that thing where you are completely invisible for months on end, and then suddenly somebody needs to diversify a panel and your phone does not stop ringing? You are the most popular girl in the office, in the industry on Tuesday. And then the thing happens, and by Friday, it's like, you're a stranger all over again. Yeah, that thing, let me tell you something. I need you to listen to this. I've been watching the World Cup, and girl, they are running the exact same playbook on the biggest stage in the world, right? The World Cup is happening right now, and literally there's memes going around on the internet that are so hilarious that are like, this World Cup is basically like my blacks versus your blacks. Who's gonna win? Let's see. Let's duke it out. Let's duke it out. You know exactly what I'm talking about. They're playing it, but here's the thing that nobody's talking about. The players, they figured out some game as well. And in this video, I'm going to break down exactly why the players themselves are in on it and how this applies to you and I. Because girl, let's just tell the truth. Everybody else is winning because of your excellence and your brilliance. Don't you think it's about time that you cashed in on that brilliance too? Yeah, I thought so. Okay, let's get into it. Let me tell you exactly what I'm seeing. Let me do you like a solid and just put you on game. Right now, I want to give you a nugget that you can use in this very second. That panel that you've already been called up for, that's coming up next week, right? Because you were a popular girl on Tuesday. Here's what I need you to do to make that panel work for you and start building your own team as you are responding to the call up and being like, yeah, I'll be there. Typically at these events, they have somebody who's hired, who's a professional. You need to get it in writing that part of your package, right? I'm not even talking about negotiating your pay, but part of your package is you're going to get access to highlight reels that are professional grade, that have actually been edited, of your photos and also of the recording. You're going to post those things on your own page, not the company's, your own page. Hear me when I say this. It is so important for you to understand that you are building your own team and you need to be doing that at gate. I also need you to get this in writing. Right now, before you step on stage, ask them to give you a testimonial of how you did on that panel after you get off, right? And it can actually even be in real time. It could be like the kind of thing as you get off stage, take your phone in hand, go to the organizer, put it in front of them and record them immediately telling you like, this is exactly the value that you provided to us and our audience. Trust me, you're going to need that and it's going to be so useful in the future as you're building your own team. Are you like following what I'm putting down? Because this is, I just need you to just nod and be taking the notes, okay? Stay with me for the entire video and I promise you, you're going to get even more of this kind of valuable thing of how to finally make your excellence work for you instead of paying for everybody else's bills. We're not here for that. World Cup, have you seen how many Black African people are on the pitch? Are you clocking that? Because for real, let's just call a thing what it is. When Canada, of all places, Canada is like as white as you get. They're more white than like a slice of vanilla cake. They're more white than maple syrup and Christmas. That's all white with the snow and the family in matching flannel sets. I love Canadians and everything, but let's just be honest. Canada, statistically, I looked this up, it's something like 4.9 or 4.5% of all Canadians are people who are Black. That's hilarious, because if you watch the World Cup, literally it looked like a reunion of all of Kingston. What happened, fam? What happened? And here's the thing, it's not just Canada that's doing this, right? If you look at what's happening with the European teams, France was just recently playing. Their star, Mbappe, who is part Congolese, my bro did everything that he could, to carry the team. But let's be honest, he is not the entirety of the team, even though the entirety of the team is also pretty much African. And that's not just France, United States. United States was hilarious because the person who got that red flag on any other day, that same person is the person who is described as invading the borders, right? They're coming over, they're taking our jobs. Oh my God, there's just this onslaught from North Africa taking over all of the ports and all of the boats and all of the things in Spain and France and Germany. Come June, those same people who were invading, suddenly they're our boys. Suddenly you can't get enough of them and you need to wear their soccer team jersey and all of the things. Nobody discovered that talent. That talent had been there since day one. It was just conveniently invisible. As soon as there was a trophy that was attached to the talent, suddenly it was like, this is our new best friend and we need to put them on their team and they're representing us, the corners of what it means to be French, to be Canadian, to be the United States, to be whatever, pick your favorite country. Literally, there's memes going around on the internet that are so hilarious that are like, this World Cup is basically my Africans playing against your blacks. Like my blacks versus your blacks. Who's gonna win? Let's see. Let's duke it out. Let's duke it out. The second thing, and this is where it gets really good, right? These players, they're not victims. If you look at what's happening at the World Cup, these players understand the game because these men are smart. They read the same newspapers everybody else does. They know exactly how they and their fellow countrymen and other people, fellow countrymen, other Africans who live in Europe, who live in America, who live in all of the Americas, quite frankly, they know exactly how those people are represented and they know that they are the invasion. They know who ICE is coming for. And trust me, that person looks a lot more like the Canadian football team than anybody else, right? They're like, watch me, I will take the check, I will take the platform, I will take the passport, I will take all of these perks. These men, they are not the victims of the story. If anything, they are playing the game right back. Because sis, tell the truth, knowing that you're being used, it doesn't mean that you storm off the field. Matter of fact, you play that game and you use that game as leverage towards building something of your own. As those men are playing on those soccer fields, trust me, so many of them, this is the game that they're on. They're like, yeah, I'll use this, but it's actually in the end going to serve me and what I'm interested in and what I'm building. Are you doing the same? Currently like, hey, dring, 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 can you come through? Are you using that to build something that can never be taken away from you, that no call up is going to have the authority over saying, this is the play, that's not the play, you get to sit on this panel, you get to be a keynote over here? Are you building your own thing? So what does building your own thing actually look like? I'm so glad you asked because we have receipts. When LeBron James was 20 years old, he called in his manager and he was like, dude, you're fired. Instead, what he did is he called 3 of his best friends from Akron, Ohio, okay? Nobody in the NBA had ever heard of this. Nobody around him who were the experts knew like who these people were. And everybody was like, dude, you're crazy. Like, what are you doing? You're throwing your career away. And he was like, watch us work. Instead of smiling for endorsements and getting happy every single time people clap because, oh my God, isn't it cute? Your name is on the sneaker. He was like, I want equity. And these 3 friends, they understand what the game that we should be playing is. And they also understand I'm the excellence. They want my name and my face and everything on the campaign, not because that would be a nice to add, but because without that, you don't have a campaign, right? And he was so strategic and smart. He went from what the heck are they doing to building a multi-million dollar empire that's probably worth close to $1 billion, if not more. Nike went from paying him to investing in him. That's the playbook that he was playing. Think about that. And think about how huge a bet it was when he was 20 years old to fire those people and say, actually, this is the route that we're going in. Now he's become the blueprint in sports for how do you build something that is your own. And by the way, it's not just King James who's doing this. If you look at what's happening right now with so many big personalities, celebrities, instead of renting out your face and endorsing or signing something where someone sends you a check, the smartest people in the room are saying and asking themselves, why am I the face of this campaign when I am the actual campaign, when I am the actual brand? You need me more than I need you. That's a Jay-Z line, right? And the takeaway is that the call up is not the prize. Instead, it's the capital. And you need to think about, how do I use this capital, this field where I've been invited to play? How do I use that to build the thing that is mine? Not how do I use that to just keep letting these people win and win and win. And let's not get twisted, right? LeBron James kept playing for the NBA and delivered on the court. So you're getting that capital and access to that capital because you're delivering something that is extremely valuable. Keep delivering that, but don't get it confused. You're also there to build something of your own and to recognize that, oh, this is something that is like the foundation. It's capital. How do I turn this into equity? In other words, ownership of your own damn team. And just so that we're clear, this is something that happens all day long in corporate and in any area of expertise. When you are invited to be the keynote speaker, to be on the panel because of the place where you work, because of your title, you need to understand that that is conditional visibility, right? And any single time that that person is inviting you because of the title, girl, when the title is gone, you're gonna have to hand back those badges of invitation, right? And you need to start being smart enough, asking yourself, if they're inviting me to come and rock out, and maybe it's not even external, maybe it's internal, maybe you're continuously the face of this brand where you work because you make them look good and you make the things that they're doing inside of the company palatable. That's a real thing. If that's where you are, you really need to be like these athletes and think about, how can I use this as capital? Not necessarily to quit because you're being called up, but to be on game and to recognize like, oh, this is a game. Okay, cool. I'm gonna use these perks. I'm gonna get what I deserve because I am putting in the value, but best believe I'm also going to build something that is my own out of this particular position. Say yes to the opportunity. Remember, this is capital and use the capital. Go ahead, enjoy the perks. Go ahead, lavish yourself in that beautiful hotel room that they set you up in because you're the keynote. Make sure, like I said, you ask for the assets that are already yours. Also, go ahead and enjoy the fact that this gives you wider reach. This is a platform that makes you look even more visible. Even if that visibility is conditional, take it, enjoy the perks, use the network, be really strategic about being present and delivering value. At the same time, I also need you this week, as you say yes to that panel, that keynote, that, oh my God, let me make my organization look amazing. Spend 1 hour this week using that capital towards something that is your own. What do I mean by that? Let me give you some examples. Number one, could you take exactly what you just presented on that panel and turn it into a talk, and then turn that talk into talking points that you take on a podcast tour? And not representing the institution, but representing yourself. You don't even need to represent yourself as a consultant, but start thinking about it as, how do I build visibility that is not conditional? Visibility that is about my name, my expertise, my brilliance, and the things that I am excellent at, that I need to be known for, independent of both this title and this institution. You could take those exact same talking points and write an op-ed. Put the op-ed in some place that is industry would be watching, right? Put yourself out there, write that op-ed, make sure that it is your name in the byline, and use that. Those are receipts that are going to serve you super well. And when I say build a talk, I'm really serious about this. Build a talk that is based on all the years of expertise that you've amassed. But don't stop there. Include your personal experience. What do you know that is lived experience, as well as the stuff that your ancestors have handed down to you, that you know this without ever having been schooled to know this? How do you know that? Maybe it's indigenous knowledge. Put that in your talk and make it so nobody can claim that this is part of the institution. It's not even necessarily something that looks like the panel's themes. This is entirely your work. And it's 18 minutes that showcases decades of knowledge, of amassing some serious expertise. And not for nothing, this is exactly the work that I do, right? When I'm working with my clients, we take 20 years, decades of deep expertise, and we boil it down into something that's like 18 minutes of intellectual property and standing up there and giving the best keynote of your life. Remember LeBron James and how he did that? He basically distilled everything that he knew into these companies and made those companies shine. Girl, he didn't do that by himself. He had those 3 friends from Akron. I'm that friend, okay? I am that friend who helps you build as you're dribbling on the court. I'm that friend who helps you do that. And if you're interested in working together to turn what you know into true intellectual capital that actually works for you and that you own, all of my details are in the show notes. You can also DM me any day on Instagram. It's at Madame Speaker Says on Instagram. Here's the thing. What's happening right now at the World Cup, it is a playbook, and I want you to pay attention to that playbook. You're not a victim. You got called up because somebody else recognizes value in you. Use that value. Use that value not only to enjoy the perks, okay? Don't get like arrested by the golden handcuffs. Use those perks and enjoy them, but recognize the capital. Make this an opportunity for you to build your own team that you actually own, like LeBron James. Your value and your talent, it's not just about what you're able to produce when you're on the field playing for their team. It's also recognizing you are the value. You. And once you get smart enough to see that, no matter where you go, you take that value with you. How am I going to use this call up to get paid, get seen, and build your own thing? I am Mahogodi. It's such a pleasure to be here. I will see you next time in the next video. This is Madam Speaker Says.